On August 27th, 2025, a man named Robin Westman, who was born as Robert Westman, carried out a mass shooting at the Annunciation Catholic School and Church in Minneapolis. He killed 2 children and injured 18 others before taking his own life. Robert, aka Robin Westman, identified as transgender. Prior to this attack, Westman posted a manifesto online where he expressed deep regret about his transgender identity. He said he was tired of being trans and that he wished he had never brainwashed himself. Westman's manifesto detailed his regret and confusion about his gender identity. He said he did not feel like a man or a woman, and he even expressed a desire to detransition. After enabling and amplifying the transgender cult delusional mindset for over a decade, the inevitable has happened. People start going crazy when they realize they can't magically change the sex that they were born as. The manifesto revealed Westman's detailed planning of the attack, including his choice for this church and school, and his fascination with other school shooters, like the Nashville Covenant School shooter, another person who identified as trans. In recent years, there has been a surge in far-left trans propaganda encouraging trans Tifa and other leftists to take up arms in order to kill so-called transphobes and fascists. In fact, the Colorado Springs shooter identified as non-binary, the Denver shooter identified as trans, the Aberdeen shooter identified as trans, the Nashville shooter identified as trans, and the Philadelphia shooter identified as a cross-dressing trans as well. Robert, aka Robin Westman, who also identified as transgender, said, quote, "Unfortunately, due to my depression, anger, and twisted mind, I want to fulfill a final act that has been in the back of my head for years." And on August 27th, 2025, he carried out that act, leaving 2 kids dead and 18 others injured. So today, I want to talk about the elephant in the room, instead of all the obvious takeaways when it comes to this case. The obvious being that, first of all, gender dysphoria has always been a mental health disorder, and yet children now are being taught that it's normal to think that you are a boy when you are a girl, or vice versa. But it's not normal. Gender dysphoria is and always has been a mental health disorder, and affirming that in children is tantamount to abuse. Also, more often than not, we find out that these shooters were on antidepressant drugs, as if brainwashing them in regards to their sexuality isn't enough. They also throw in a toxic chemical soup into the mix, which scrambles their brains even further. And the most obvious of all is that guns are not the issue here. In fact, Minneapolis is one of the cities with the most strict gun laws in the United States. People shouldn't be calling for fewer guns when we have a culture that is affirming mental derangement at every turn. But no, I'm going to call this for what it is, and a lot of people are not going to like it. This stems from an atheistic worldview and a profound hatred of Christianity, which has led to the slaughtering of innocent children by the transgender cult. Listen to the mayor of Minneapolis, seen here, mocking prayer for the victims.
Don't just say this is about thoughts and prayers right now. These kids were literally praying. It was the first week of school. They were in a church.
And as if that wasn't bad enough, here's what the former White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki had to say. Prayer is not freaking enough. Prayers does not end school shootings. Prayers do not make parents feel safe sending their kids to school. Prayer does not bring these kids back. Enough with the thoughts and prayers. These people hate Jesus Christ, and this shooter had it out for him as well. This shooter, Robert Westman, had a profound hatred towards Christianity, with his manifesto video including a target with an image of Jesus. He drew a picture of himself looking into a mirror with a demon looking back, and in Russian he wrote, "Who? When will this end? Help me. I don't want to. Help." And kill yourself, kill. This guy hated Jesus Christ, and he fell for the atheistic worldview, which is that if there is no God, then morality is subjective. And under that worldview, if I want to think that I'm a boy when I'm actually a girl, or if I want to think that I'm a girl when I'm actually a boy, that's fine, because truth is relative. It all comes down to what I create in my own head. If there is no God and morality is subjective, then choosing if I'm a boy or a girl is equally valid, because ultimately there is no truth. It's just a prejudice or a particular taste. It's whatever I want it to be. If there is no God, then it's all just a cosmic crapshoot, and life is ultimately meaningless. Because if God didn't create me with a purpose, then that means that life is meaningless, and I'll just create my own meaning according to my own desires. But the problem with that worldview is that it leads to guys like this shooter losing the understanding of why human life is valuable. And if you lose the meaning of why human life is valuable and then somebody rubs you the wrong way, there's nothing that says you can't cut them off at the knees. And if there is no God and life is ultimately meaningless, then forgiveness makes no sense at all, and revenge becomes the modus operandi. But the truth, my friends, is that God is real, and we human beings have been created in His image, which means we have the ability to reflect the character of God, which is just, but it's also graceful and forgiving. But if you sear your God-given conscience and reject Him as the ultimate authority in your life, then bad things are bound to happen, not only to you, but to society as a whole as well. So the bottom line is, as a society, we have to ensure that our children have a relationship with their Creator, because their eternal life is at stake. And instead of affirming their delusions when it comes to their twisted worldview of gender identity that's being taught to them by politicians and the schools and the TV, we need to affirm that they are beautiful just as they are, with no scalpels or cosmetics needed, because they have been created in the image of God with a purpose, which is to love Him and to love each other. If you guys agree, or even if you don't, let me know your thoughts on this in the comment section below. Did an atheistic worldview lead to this guy becoming possessed to the point of slaughtering innocent children? And could this have been avoided if he had a better relationship with Jesus Christ, his Creator and God? Let me know what you guys think. And my friends, if you do appreciate my efforts to bring you this information, I really do need your financial support moving forward. So please take a moment to check me out here at this Give, Send, Go campaign, or by visiting pressfortruth.ca/donate. Links for both of these are located in the description below. So that's all for today. Please make sure you subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and please click that thumbs up button. Share this video with your friends and family who you think need to see it the most. And stay tuned, guys. I'm going to have more video reports coming soon, God willing. This is Dan Dicks reporting for Press for Truth. We all want truth. The truth will set you free.